Okay, hello everyone. I hope you can hear me. Switch over to the camera mode. Hi, can you hear me? I need someone to say in the chat, can you hear me? Great. You might also hear my children outside the door. I've tried to make it kind of quiet, but yeah, they're sometimes loud. So if you hear my children, I am sorry. I'm at home and it can get kind of noisy. If you have young children, you understand. So I hope everyone had a good week. I'm back, and please, after you watch this lecture from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, straight afterwards, there are more from Professor Kiva McCarter and Professor Brandon Nolan. There are more lectures coming up. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the videos we're doing. But today, we are talking about being descriptive. Now, being descriptive is not something that people really think about. They just describe it. They just describe things, describe what color it is, describe what something smells like. Everyone can describe things, but some people can describe things better than other people. I mean, that's what makes good storytellers good. Good storytellers can make a story interesting because they describe things well. Good books, good movies, they just describe stories well. So, I'm not going to go into all the tips and all the ways you can make things more descriptive, but we're going to look at a few of the strategies that we can use to be more descriptive when we're trying to describe something. Because when you're speaking a language, any language, you're going to come upon situations where you need to describe things. You're telling a story to someone, or you're trying to describe the restaurant you went to, or you're trying to talk about a movie you saw with somebody. You're going to have to describe things. And the better and more colorful your descriptions are, the more interesting your stories will be. So, let's get right into it. So, being descriptive. What does it mean to be descriptive? For me, I think being descriptive, of course, means describing something. But I like to describe things in very interesting ways that people might not think of describing things. You can think of, like, for example, poetry. When you read a poem, poems describe everyday things in ways that you have never ever thought of. So if you can describe things like poetry, that may be interesting. We're also going to talk about describing things with your senses. For example, seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, tasting. So, thinking about that, thinking about our senses, can you describe the photo in this slideshow right now? What do you think it smells like there? What do you think it sounds like in this picture? What is the taste? What are they experiencing? What are the emotions? Can you type in the chat room, just describe a little bit what you think about this photo? How would you describe this photo to another person? If they can't see the photo, how would you describe it? Okay, Luna has 3 sons, says it looks delicious. Delicious is good. It does look delicious. What else? Give me some more. What does it sound like? Because I can imagine people laughing and talking about their week, asking questions about how the other people have been doing, telling jokes, telling stories, saying cheers as they drink some soju. And what does it smell like? I mean, what other sounds? Maybe they're eating outside of a restaurant and they can hear traffic outside and things. Chung Taun 76 says, my mouth instantly waters. Yeah, it looks good. It makes you hungry. Anything else? How would you describe this photo? We're not going to do this for too long. We have lots more photos to describe after this. But just to start us off, the smell of delicious soju. Okay, good. I've been in Korea a long time, but I'm sorry. I'm not a soju drinker. I just don't enjoy it. I'm sorry. I drink other things, but not soju. So for me, delicious and soju are not words that go together. But I know many people enjoy soju. I enjoy makgeolli. Makgeolli does not enjoy me though. It gives me a headache, but I enjoy it. I drink it anyway. Okay, let's keep going because we have lots more of these to describe. So when we talk about descriptive writing or even just descriptive speaking, the purpose is to paint a picture in the reader's mind. We're trying to make the reader feel or see or hear or smell what we experienced. That's good descriptive writing. Now, I hope that many of you have read lots and lots of books, especially novels. And many writers have different ways of describing things. If you have never read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, I really encourage you to read it. F. Scott Fitzgerald is just a genius with describing things. So if you've never, I know you've heard of The Great Gatsby. I'm sure that you've heard of it. You might have seen the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. But if you've never read the book, I really encourage you to read it. He can paint pictures and describe things magically. And he is a master of it. So if you're looking for a good book to read that's a little bit old, but I think it was written in the 1920s, but very good descriptive writing. And there are lots of authors that are very good at descriptive writing, and they do it with their own voice. Like Murakami Haruki is another great example of an author who can really describe things well. Really good at describing things with his own unique spin. Okay, so we're talking about descriptive writing. Let's look at a bad example of descriptive writing and a good example of descriptive writing. So, a bad example. If I'm introducing my friend, let's look at this bad example. I want to introduce my friend. His name is Jack. He is funny. He is also short and a little fat. His hobby is music. He really likes rock music. He is funny when he sings. He often makes me laugh. So let me read that one more time. And I'm going to exaggerate some of the words so that you can hear the words that I don't like in this description. I want to introduce my friend. He is Jack. He is funny. He is also short and a little fat. His hobby is music. He really likes rock music. He is funny when he sings. He often makes me laugh. This is a bad description. It's too much repetition. In English, we hate repetition. We hate things that are always the same. What's repetitious in this bad example? Too many be verbs. Am, is, are, was, were. Particularly is here. He is funny. He is this. His hobby is this. Too many be verbs. Not good. One key to descriptive writing. I'm going to show you these in just a minute, so we'll review these. So if you don't remember what I'm saying, it's okay. There's some PowerPoint slides we're going to go over. But one thing with descriptive writing is don't use weak words. That's the biggest thing. If you remember nothing else about descriptive writing, if you only remember one thing, it's this. Don't use weak words. Weak means not strong. What are weak words? Well, words like is, am, are, be verbs. I mean, you need them sometimes, of course. I'm not saying never use them. I'm saying don't use them too much. What's another weak word? Well, let's look back at the slide. Do you see where it says that he is also short and a little fat? A little fat. I mean, that's okay, but we can use a stronger word than that. We have one word in English that means little fat. Chubby. Chubby means little fat. Also, he really likes rock music. Instead of saying really likes, there are lots of words we can use. We could say he loves rock music. He adores rock music. He is a fan of rock music. We can use so many other things than really or very or little or some. We need to use stronger describing words. Let's see. Luna has three sons says, what about the term you know? I hear a lot when they speak. Okay. Yeah, that's not writing because people don't really do that in writing. But in speaking, I am also guilty of this. You know is a filler word. I'll write this down. If you want to research more about it, it's called a filler word. And a filler word is just a word that English speakers use when they're thinking. Some people say, some people say like, some people say you know, and it means nothing. It has no meaning. It's just you know, it's just a word. It's just like a word that, you know, you use when, you know, you can't think of what, you know, you want to say like that. When I'm trying to talk and not have lots of long pauses in my speech, we use filler words like that. They're not descriptive. They're not great. They're kind of a bad example of giving a speech, but it's not descriptive word. And even some really good public speakers use filler words. I know that I know this is not a presentation class, but I want to take a little side road for a second. A lot of people will look at good presenters, people who are good at giving presentations, like Steve Jobs was. Who are some other good examples? Good presenters are prepared to present. They don't use lots of filler words. But there are some people who have enough charisma that it doesn't matter if they're bad at speaking. If you want an example of this, and I'm not going to talk about his politics or anything, but Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, go watch one of his presentations when he speaks. He is not a great speaker. He's not. He is not good at giving presentations. But he has charisma and he has this energy that makes people interested, even though he uses lots of filler words and doesn't look at the audience well, and it's kind of awkward. So even if you're not good at one thing, if your presentation skills are low, if you have high charisma, you can still be okay. But anyway, back to descriptive writing. That's what we're talking about. Another problem with this bad example is the sentences are all the same length. They're all very short, especially in the middle. Look, his name is Jack. He is funny. He is also short and a little fat. His hobby is music. He really likes rock music. These are all the same length, and we don't like that. Like I said, English, we don't like repetition. We want things to have variety. Variety is the spice of life. I'm going to write that. That's a popular saying in English. Variety is the spice of life. Meaning that if you don't have variety, everything tastes bland. There's no good taste. So let's look at a good example of introducing my friend. I want to introduce my friend. Okay, the first sentence is the same as the bad example. Let's see where it changes. His name is Jack, which is funny because he is just like Jack Black, the actor. So I've introduced my friend. You know his name. You know he's funny. And I've compared him to somebody. I didn't just say he's funny. I have compared him to somebody. Now, you can see this person in your head. You're thinking of the famous actor Jack Black. I'm painting a picture in your head. Jack always has a joke ready, and he makes me laugh so hard that I can't breathe. That's much better than just saying Jack is funny. I mean, people are funny, but when he makes you laugh so much that you can't breathe, wow, that is really funny. He also looks like a small Santa Claus, but he sounds like a crazy person when he sings. Again, I'm painting more of a picture. Now you can see him more. You're kind of imagining Jack Black if he were Santa Claus. You're imagining that he's acting and sounding crazy when he tries to sing. And now I'm going to give an example so that you can really see a picture in your head. When we ride in the car together, he's always listening to rock music and singing so terribly that I can't stop laughing. So in the first example, I described my friend badly. I said, his name is Jack. He's funny. He likes to sing. He likes music. It's not really painting a picture in your head. You know his name. I've told you he's funny, but you don't know that he's funny. In the second example, I've tried to paint a picture. I've given you examples. I've used bigger words, more interesting words. I've tried to show you what he's like so that you can imagine in your head and hear him singing badly. That is better description. Okay. So, descriptive writing, tip number 1. I've already mentioned this. Describe with the 5 senses. Describe what you see. Describe what you hear. Describe what you smell, taste, and touch. We're going to get to practice this in just a minute. Tip number 2, compare and contrast using like or as. In my earlier example, I said that he is like a small Santa Claus, or he is as funny as Jack Black, something like that. So compare and compare means how is it similar? How is it the same? Contrast means how is it different? So compare and contrast is another great way to be very descriptive. Also, like I said before, use stronger words. Don't just say funny. You can say hilarious. You can say a description. You can say he makes me laugh so hard I can't breathe. Use something stronger. Don't rely on weak words. Be creative when you're describing something. Okay, here's a practice activity. Like before, I said that we are going to describe pictures. Now, I want you to write in the chat just one sentence, just describing the picture. Describe what the picture looks like, or maybe what you can imagine that it smells like or sounds like. Use your senses, use descriptive words, compare or contrast. So we're going to have 10 photos. I'll go through them a little bit slowly because I'm going to be waiting for people in the chat room to say something. So this girl on the left side, describe her first. Write a descriptive sentence about her. What does she look like? What do you think she sounds like? What do you think her personality might be like? I will wait in the chat room. Let's see. Pak Yonu says she looks like a model. Good. Looks like. That's comparing. Very good. Chengdaon 76 says she has the bright smile which brightens my day. Good. She has this bright smile which brightens my day. Very good. Luna has 3 sons says her smile is beautiful as the sunshine. Her smile is as beautiful as the sunshine. When we use adjectives to describe, we say as, adjective, as. So he is as tall as a tree. He is as funny as Jack Black. Her smile is as beautiful as the sunshine. You have to have 2 as's. Good. If I were to describe her, and you might not know who I'm talking about, but this girl looks just like an actress from Stranger Things, the TV show. If you've seen that show, you might know who I'm talking about. Her smile is as beautiful as sunshine, much better. Good. 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 Let's move on to the next photo. A little bit slower this time. How would you describe this? How would you describe this photo? Try to use some big words. Try to be poetic, like a poet. It's hard in Korean too, yeah. Hard to be descriptive, I guess you're saying. It's hard to be descriptive in any language. It takes practice. That's why when we read a good book and we really disappear inside of the book, it's because it's so descriptive. It's so good at describing something that we fall into the book's world. And not everyone can do that. It takes lots and lots of practice. Bak Yonu says he walks around the world. Yeah, maybe he's walking around the world. I don't know where he's walking to. Anyone else? Maybe talk about the sunset. Maybe compare him to a shadow. The sunset backside of him looks like it is the end of the world. Yeah, it could be. It looks, yeah, that's actually good. I never thought of that. It looks like he's the last person on the planet, walking forever. Oh my God, it's horrible. It could be. It kind of looks like that. It looks like he could be walking in the end of the world. Bak Yonu says, I want to fly like the birds, not a birds. I want to fly like the birds. Maybe he wants to fly like the birds. Maybe he's trying to follow the birds. It's definitely a nice silhouette. Silhouette means you can only see the outline, the edges. You can't see any details of this picture. Okay, let's move on to the next picture. How would you describe this guy? He has a fantastic beard. In says, while he takes a walk, he's late for dinner. Yeah, maybe he's late for dinner. Maybe he's trying to catch a bird so he can eat a bird for dinner. We don't know. Next picture. How would you describe this man with the fantastic beard? What color is his hair? Where is he? What is he looking at? Anybody? He misses his ex-girlfriend so much. Or he missed the ex-girlfriend so much. Maybe that's what he's thinking about. He's thinking, I miss my ex-girlfriend so much. Maybe that's what he's thinking about. A good-looking young guy with too much beard like grandpa. Hey, never too much beard. Never too much beard. Don't mock the beard. A good-looking young guy with too much beard like grandpa. Okay, interesting. His beard reminds me of an actor from Aquaman. Yes. What is that guy's name? I can't remember his name. Yeah, I'll give you, let me tell you something. How would you describe his beard hair color? What color is his hair? His deep eyes make people wonder what he is looking at. Not he's deep eyes, his deep eyes make people wonder what he is looking at. His hair, gold? Maybe the picture looks different for you guys. For me, his hair looks reddish browns. Yeah, bronze. Maybe bronze. Oh, Totoro Lee is very good. Yeah, bronze. You could also describe this hair as ginger. Now, ginger, just like sengang, like the spice, ginger means red. You can use it for hair, ginger-colored hair. Brunette. Oh, brunette's very good too. Brunette. Let me spell that differently. Kim Eun-ji. Yeah, brunette. So brunette, bronze is very good. Ginger is okay. Ginger is usually more red though. I have 4 brothers, and 3 of them have very red hair. One of them has kind of red hair. I'm the only one without red hair. How did that happen? Let's see. Okay, yeah, bronze, brunette, very good. Isn't ginger brown? No, ginger is red. Ginger is red. And it can be reddish brown, but usually very red. If you search in Google right now, search for ginger hair, you will see that it's very red. But actually, ginger is also a bad word in the UK. If you call someone a ginger, that's bad. It's saying it's a bad way to say someone about red hair. You can call their hair ginger colored, but to call a person ginger is bad. It's just how things, how words change. Okay, let's go to the next picture. How would you describe this one? Oh yeah, Chongdaewon, yeah, the ginger thing. Because my brothers live in the UK and they've been called ginger, and it's not nice. It's not nice to be called ginger. It's in the UK. In America, people don't know about it, but in the UK, it's bad. Luna has 3 sons. Image of ginger is brown because of the gingerbread man. Yeah, but that's different ginger. That's the spice, sengang. That's ginger. Ginger as a color is more reddish, orangish, brownish. Okay, how about this new picture with the banana on the plate? How would you describe this? A banana half peeled. Half peeled, not pilled, peeled. Good, you caught it, good. Someone throws banana on a yellow dish. Good, 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 good. Great. Yeah, that's okay. I was just checking. And anyone else? Just a minute. I need to change my photo. I forgot to do that. I thought I did it actually, but for some reason it didn't save. Okay. There we go. Let's see. There's a yellow banana in a yellow dish on a yellow table. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. The banana's white, but the peel is yellow. So we generally think of bananas as yellow, not white. Good, good, good. Anyone else? Let me just check my photo again. Okay, good. Sorry, I received a message from the English department that I forgot to change my photo. I did change it, but for some reason it just, I don't know, it didn't save. I don't know why. Okay. Good, good, good. Yeah, it's a very yellow picture. Very, very yellow. I like yellow. Yellow's a good color. Very bright picture. Very vibrant. There we can use a stronger word like vibrant. Always better to use stronger words. It's also a very kind of symmetrical picture. I don't think I spelled that right. Symmetrical. Trying to talk while I'm typing is not easy. So symmetrical is like we have this yellow square background with a round dish in the very center and a banana in the center of that. The banana is not symmetrical, but still, it's kind of a vibrant, symmetrical picture of a banana on a yellow plate. So trying to use that descriptive language is always good. Let's look at the next picture. Ooh, very different. Not vibrant. How would you describe this picture? How would you describe the colors? How would you describe the feeling of being there. From here on, I'm also, after you guys write a few examples, I'm also going to write my own example description so that you can see some of the stronger describing words that I might use. So I'll wait for 2 or 3 comments from you guys, and then I will write my own describing sentence. Let's see, Luna has 3 sons. How can I study strong words? Read books, or do you have any recommendation? That's a good question. I mean, yes, you can. Oh, that's really difficult. You can study, of course, the more vocabulary you know, the better. So studying more vocabulary books is excellent. If you can, and I know it's difficult because when I try to read Korean books, it's very difficult. But if you can read English novels like F. Scott Fitzgerald, that might be really difficult. But if you can, even slowly, you will see not only the strong words, because, yeah, if you study vocabulary, you will learn strong words, but you won't learn exactly how to use them or when to use them or when it's creative to use them. But if you read strong authors who are very good at describing things, then you will see their words that they choose to use and how they use them to paint this picture in your head. So, yeah, you can study vocabulary books, but that's only half of the strategy. You also need to actually look in the real world, like with books, novels, and see how people do it. It's difficult, very difficult, but rewarding, because once you kind of, even if you just learn one new interesting word and how to use it a day, you can remember it and you can use it one day. And it really feels like an accomplishment when you can read an author and understand how they did something. Like when you're reading a really good book and you pause and you think, how did they describe that so well? And you go back and read it again and read it again and read it again. You'll learn the words they use and how they use them. Okay, let's go back to the picture and look at some of these sentences. Totoro Lee says, one man is waiting the balloon at the desert. One man is waiting for the balloon at the desert. One man is waiting for the balloon at the desert. A man's looking at the hot air balloon up in the vast sky. Vast. That's a great word. Vast is a great, strong word. You didn't say big sky. You said vast. That's a great example of a stronger word. I am going to say that a hot air balloon floats above a muted desert landscape. I used some stronger words there. So you know hot air balloon. You probably know floats, like floating in water or floating in the air. Muted desert landscape might be harder. Muted, okay, so if we look at this picture is very vibrant. Lots of strong color. Well, really just one color, yellow, but it's very strong color. This picture, there's no strong colors. It's almost like the picture is changing to black and white. Almost like the color, like the photo is losing its color. When a photo or something doesn't have a lot of strong color, we call it muted. The same mute as when there's no sound. That's mute. If you push mute on your computer and there's no sound, that's mute. We also say muted when something is not a strong color. So that is a muted landscape. It's just not very strong colors. Monotone. Okay, monotone is also good. You need to. Monotone is more. Yeah, you could say monotone here. You could make it work. You could make monotone work. Monotone is usually more for sound when somebody talks and they don't sound very interesting. and their voice is not going up or down. They have no excitement. The words are all joining together. There's no fluctuation or inflection in their words. There's no intonation. The words just keep going and going, and they sound like a robot. That's monotone. You could use it for a picture as well. Okay, let's look at the next one, the next picture. How would you describe this picture? This winding road in the forest. How would you describe this one? I'm waiting for some comments. I'm sure you're typing very furiously. Chungdaon76 says, when I was driving that winding road, I could see endless greens. That is excellent. Excellent. I would say green instead of greens. When we say greens as plural, we're usually talking about like vegetables that we eat, like eat your greens. So maybe green as singular is better, but otherwise perfect. When I was driving that winding road, I could see endless green. But you can say greens, plural, when you're talking about vegetables. No problem. Anyone else? I'm going to write mine. I'm going to write my sentence. I'm going to use some big words. A serpentine road slithers through an endless forest. I'm stealing your word, Tongdawan. I'm stealing endless. I'm taking it. Let's see. Uni Choi. Cursive road surrounded by woods. Ooh, cursive. I like that. I really like that. Cursive. That's very poetic. So what Uni Che has said is that it's a cursive road. Now, normally we would say a curved road. You know, it curves. But cursive is a great example of poetic language, where cursive is, as you know, when you're writing in English, you can write either just standard, like, typed letters, or you can do very loopy letters that are kind of hard to read but faster to write. That's cursive. So, yeah, it is kind of loopy and cursive. I like that. That's a good description. I might steal that in the future. I have said a serpentine road slithers through an endless forest. So what I have done is said serpentine, which serpentine comes from the word serpent, which means snake. But serpentine also means curving, because like snakes look like curving. But to make this comparison between the road and a snake even stronger, I have said slither, which is how snakes move. So I didn't say, I never said that the road looks like a snake. I never said this road looks like a snake. I described the road as if it were moving like a snake. I said the serpentine road slithers. It moves like a snake through an endless forest. So you don't have to say it's like a snake or it's as a snake. You can describe it using words that you would normally use to describe a snake. And it paints this picture, this vibrant picture in your head. That's getting more descriptive. Okay, next picture. How about this cute picture? Very cute. How would you describe this lovely little kitty? Thank you, Chung Tao. I wouldn't say I'm that creative. I try. I read a lot, I write a lot. So it's good practice. How would you describe this? A cute little kitty. Maybe in the future, maybe next semester I'll do a creative writing class or something on YouTube. We'll see. Because that's one of my hobbies, one of my interests is creative writing. Let's see. Luna has 3 sons. The chubby cat is looking at the bird, wishing he can catch it. Yeah, wishing. Oh, wait, not typing. Wishing he can catch it. The chubby cat. Very good. Chubby. I mentioned that word earlier. Good. Chubby. Chubby means a little bit fat. Not very fat, just a little bit. The chubby cat. Anyone else? Why is this? Yeah. Wow. Okay. In says a Prussian blue cat stares at pigeons to hunt. Stares at pigeons. This cat is gorgeous. Well, that's simple and straight to the point. Chongdawen76 says an adorable gray cat with bright eyes is staring at a bird. Bright eyes. Luna has 3 sons. How can I describe the cat's eye? Ooh, yeah, that's hard. How do we describe this cat's eyes? We would say they are... What do they look like? They look like... It's hard. It's a hard one. I'm trying to think of one. I'm trying to think while I'm talking, while I'm teaching, I'm trying to think of a good descriptive sentence. Let's see. I'm not going to talk while I'm saying this because I might go back and erase it. Let's see. A luscious gray cat lounges on deep, no, not deep. A luscious gray cat lounges on a carpet of grass. We'll say that. Not very creative, but it works. Yeah, what is the cat looking at? We don't know. We don't know what he's looking at. So I have said a luscious gray cat. So luscious is usually used to describe something very luxurious. We would say luscious for luxurious, like a luscious chair, or we could use it for food as well. I'm using it for the cat because he looks very, very royal, very expensive, very soft, very something expensive and nice. So I'm using luscious. And on a carpet, I did a boo-boo. A carpet of grass. I did not write that. Not carpet grass. A carpet of grass. So instead of just saying grass, I said a carpet of grass. Like the floor is a carpet, but made of grass. Let's see. Big Brother says that cat face looks like he caught someone when it's pooed at the yard. Okay, that's definitely one way to look at it. The dolphin-colored feline is sitting on the grass. Dolphin-colored. That's interesting. That's creative. I like it. The dolphin-colored. I like that, but it makes me think that the cat is not soft. It makes me think that the cat is very rough, like a dolphin's skin. But the color is correct. Let's see. Okay. Good. You guys like that picture? He is a cute cat with penetrating eyes. Yeah, we can say, that's probably a good way to say it. He has, did someone say that? Yeah, penetrating. Jung Daun says the cat's eyes are so penetrating. Penetrating means when they can look at you and it's like they can see through you. That's a good description of his eyes. Okay, let's keep going. How would you describe this lovely plate of pasta? Makes me hungry. I had pancakes for breakfast, but I'm still quite hungry. And that pasta with the basil leaves looks amazing. Looks so yummy. Not yummy. Yummy. It does look yummy. Yummy in my tummy. How would you describe it though? I feel like eating right now. Me too. I am hungry, and looking at this picture is not helping. The filter of the picture makes pasta look cold. Yeah, I kind of see that. I kind of see what you're saying. It does kind of make it look cold, whatever filter they used. Let's say the earthy tones of the pasta mixed with the vibrant red, vibrant crimson of the tomatoes and greens of the basil formed together into a delectable pasta, a delectable oil pasta, because it's not a cream pasta, it's an oil pasta. Let's see, Chungdown76 says spaghetti with fresh tomatoes and basil are in a savory olive oil. Very lovely, yes. I said I used more descriptive, more like big words. The earthy tones. So earthy tones are, let me go to this. The earthy tones are like brown colors, kind of, very like the earth, like dirt. And this pasta is not really white, it's kind of a little bit brown, so I want to say earthy tones. It also makes it sound more organic, which I wanted because earthy is more organic. So it makes the pasta feel more luxurious than just white pasta. So the earthy tones of the pasta mixed with the vibrant crimson of the tomatoes. I didn't want to say red and then say green, because I say green next for basil, and I feel like red and green are just too simple. So I wanted to use an interesting color, something that you don't often hear. So I said crimson instead of red. And then the greens of the basil formed together into a delectable. Instead of delicious, I just said delectable. They mean the same thing, but it's just, again, a different descriptive word. Formed together into delectable oil pasta. So that was my thought process as I was writing this. I thought, okay, the pasta looks kind of brown, and that's good. Brown is usually more expensive. So I want to exaggerate that. I want to say earthy tones, which is more positive than saying brown. I don't know. Earthy tones just sounds more positive. I knew I was going to describe the tomatoes as red and the basil as green, but I feel like just using red and then green, two very simple colors, is kind of repetitive. So I wanted to break that repetition and use a more unique color like crimson. And I didn't want to just say delicious. I wanted to say delectable. Yeah, that's kind of how I described it. I also sometimes think about when I'm thinking about the food, like as Mi-jung says, it looks greasy. It does look greasy because it's oily. And I think about how the oil feels on my tongue. And this is going to sound a little bit weird, but when the oil's on my tongue, it feels like I can say different words, like delicious. That S sound doesn't sound very greasy to me. I'm probably sounding crazy right now, but it doesn't sound greasy to me. I think delectable with that longer L, delectable is kind of more greasy in sound. So I wanted to use delectable instead of delicious, which just, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just me, but it sounds more greasy in a positive way. More oily, I guess. Okay, next picture. Next picture, and we're running out of time. This will be the last picture, then I have to continue with a few more things very quickly. So how would you describe this picture? This is a very deeply colored picture. Again, kind of muted like the desert picture, where there's not a lot of vibrant colors. There's really just dark browns and dark greens. Yeah, it looks delicious, but it might make you fat. Lots of carbohydrates. That's right. Tansuhamo, lots of those carbs. Definitely not good for the tummy. Not for the belt. Let's see. How would you describe this picture? Then we got to move on. We are running quickly out of time. I'm going to also try to think of a way I can describe this kind of symmetrical forest. Yeah, a symmetrical lines of ancient trees reach into the deep sky. That's kind of mine. Let's see. The trees are high as the sky is about to soar. Good. Yeah, I like that. They're reaching high, like soaring, like that flying feeling. That's good. The enchanting looking forest should be explored. Excellent. Yeah, should be explored. I think this is it a forest or a garden? I'm not sure because it's very symmetrical. Good. The green color is beautiful. Good. We could use maybe emerald color. Emerald is a deeper green and more of a unique word, emerald. The dark atmosphere of many trees blocking the sun looks kind of gloomy. That's good. Yeah, it is very dark and it is kind of gloomy. I agree. At night, this would be kind of a scary place to be. I said the symmetrical lines of ancient trees reach into the deep sky. I wanted to kind of contrast the sky and the ground. So instead of saying the high sky, I said the deep sky, as if this picture were upside down. That's what I kind of wanted to say. Chung Daun says, the park with so many giant curvy trees was so beautiful and peaceful. Great. Yeah, giant curvy trees, beautiful, peaceful. Good describing words. Dark green trees invite a deeper forest. Ooh, I like the word of invite. I like it's inviting you into this deep, dark forest. I like that. Invite is a great word. A feeling of deep relaxation. Again, using that deep word, I like it. It is kind of relaxing. It's kind of like muted colors. It's not too bright, not too energetic. Yun Tu Mom says, the forest is thick, the trees are big. Good, yeah. Thick is good. Big, I would try to use something a little bit stronger than big. I would say gigantic or huge or anything that's not big. Just something a little bit stronger. Let's see. Ancient tree lines are symmetrical. Okay, they could be they could be ancient then. Okay, good. We have got to go through these a little bit quickly. That's another picture that we're not going to do. Okay, I want to show you. I only have like 3 minutes left because I have to get off 2 minutes before so the next professor can get on. I just want to show you a few phrases that you can use when comparing and contrasting to describe things. I'm going to go through these very quickly, so write them down or take pictures with your phone or something if you want to remember these. As. I described this before. When you want to describe something with an adjective, comparing it to something else, you use as, adjective as. For example, the dog is as fluffy as a ball of hair. Two as's with an adjective in between or an adverb. Kind of like is saying you're comparing things and saying almost like, not the same, but almost. So this picture is my nephew is kind of like a superhero. He's not really a superhero. He doesn't have superpowers like Superman, but this is how I think of him. He's kind of like a superhero. And if you want to be more colloquial, if you want to speak more informally, you can say kinda instead of kind of. But that's very informal. Next, I only have like 3 more of these words, so I'm going to go very quickly. Not unlike. Now, if you notice, this has 2 negatives. 2 negatives. 2 negatives. You have not and you have un. So they cancel each other out. So I know that this looks like you're saying it's not like this, but it's actually saying it is like this because there's 2 negatives. And usually we don't do double negatives in English, but here you can do it. So saying my apartment is not unlike a prison cell means my apartment is like a prison cell. Now, why do we say it's not unlike a prison cell instead of just saying it's like a prison cell? We don't like repetition. We like different ways to say things. So you can say my apartment is like a prison cell or my apartment is not unlike a prison cell. These are both very commonly used. To be nothing like. So this is saying they are not the same. 100% different. So pizza is nothing like broccoli. I think you can agree. Pizza is nothing like broccoli. Not the same at all. And last is, you might say that is like So if you want to say that these things are similar, you can say this. You can say that you might say that learning to swim is like learning a language. So you might say that is like Now, I'm sorry that I can't give you more time to practice these. We just ran out of time having so much fun describing those pictures. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. The next professor is coming up. Subscribe if you haven't done it yet. And have a good weekend. Sorry I had to rush at the end. Bye. Okay, bye. For real this time.